Hello, it's Grant here on The Wheel, and today I'm going to be testing the new Suzuki V-Strom 1050. So this is the XT variant, which comes with the nice spoked wheels. It's got an exposed oil filter, which is slightly concerning for an adventure bike, but there is an aftermarket bash plate that you can buy, and aftermarket luggage and that kind of stuff. They've gone with a bit of a retro colour scheme, which is quite nice, and almost a retro headlight too. Let's have a look. It's got the Suzuki Quick Start, which is quite nice. I'm not going to mess with settings or anything, I'm just going to get out and ride. The first thing you notice when you're riding the V-Strom is how comfortable it is. It is a very upright riding position. It's got quite wide bars, but they're comfortably wide. Got a really good view behind me with the mirrors. This is quite a tall bike, so I'm 6'2", and I can flat foot it not massively comfortably, so I imagine if you're any shorter than about 6 foot, you're probably going to find it a bit of effort. So yeah, this bike is brand new, it's not even really been run in, so I just want to get a first initial feel of the bike. The whole point of these first ride videos is just to give you a bit of an initial idea of what a bike is like to ride. So I'm going to try and cover things like braking, handling, engine performance. Everything about this motorbike feels slightly retro, so even the LCD dash is it reminds me of an 80s Casio watch. I think it's been inspired by the DR Big, if the graphics and colour options are anything to go by. It's a big twin cylinder, but there isn't a huge amount of vibration. I'm not feeling anything really through the foot pegs. There's a little bit of vibration through the bars, but it's very comfortable. It's very composed, the suspension feels good, handling feels good. As I said, this is a brand new bike, brand new tyres, brand new brakes, so I don't want to push it too hard. The gearing seems very long. You can sit in second or third gear for what feels like forever, and you're still only at 3,000 or 4,000 RPM. You can notice the ride-by-wire throttle straight away. So I'm used to just a conventional throttle on my MT-07. This throttle feels a bit floatier, if that makes any sense. It feels great, it's really smooth, but you can tell it's not a standard throttle. And that gives you options like cruise control. There's loads of different traction and ride modes, which I'm not going to dabble in, but you might want to get yourself down to On The Wheel and have a test ride yourself. I believe there's also a demo day coming up in a few weeks' time where this bike will be available to ride. As you'd expect from a big 1000cc adventure bike, it gets up to speed very quickly. There's very little buffeting thanks to this fairly tall screen. There's a little bit of buffeting on the top of my helmet. I think the screen's currently extended to its highest limit. I'm sure there's some aftermarket options as well. But tooling along on the dual carriageway at 70, very composed, very comfortable. I could quite happily sit in this saddle all day long. I've been quite surprised at how capable it is in terms of slow speed control as well. I'm quite comfortable to crawl along at minimal speeds. I think the handling is really nice as well, so it leans into corners nicely. Fairly leant over here and it's nice and composed. is a little bit of vibration in the mirrors, but I can still clearly see what's going on behind me. As you'd expect from a big V-twin, it's got a decent amount of engine braking. The display is nice and clear and easy to read. The clutch action is very light. I think it's got some kind of Suzuki slipper clutch system going on. The gearbox feels very slick. Changing gears is nice and easy. The brakes are pretty powerful, so it's got twin radial Takico calipers on the front. As I said, it's a brand new bike, so I'm not going to do crazy levels of braking. But even for a brand new bike on brand new tyres, it handles really nicely. It brakes really nicely. Like with most adventure bikes, it's built for long distance. And it feels like you could comfortably ride this bike all day without a problem. You can be nice and lazy with your gear changes. It's very composed in terms of handling. It's definitely a very tall bike. Even at 6'2", putting my foot down, the floor feels quite far away. I'd say it's a very easy bike to ride. I haven't ridden that many big CC bikes, and this is very comfortable, handles well. It feels light. Even wheeling it around, it feels like a light bike. It's not got any panniers on it, which I'm sure will make a big difference if you're fully loaded, but as adventure bikes go, it doesn't seem that heavy. The whole point in these first ride videos isn't to go too in-depth in terms of specs. You can get all that information online. I'd rather give you an idea of what it feels like to ride. And this is a nice bike to ride. It's nice and neutral. The sitting position's comfortable. It's got plenty of power. The grip seems good on these tyres. It's got Bridgestone tyres. As I said, the only thing I'd be concerned about is if you're shorter, you might find it fairly tall. I'm not sure if they do any lowering kits. I'm sure they have a lower seat and the like. Is there anything I've missed? The other thing as well is if you've got any questions about any of the bikes that I'm riding, put them in the comments section and I can always have another go, try and answer any questions you might have. It's a very comfortable, solid, easy to ride bike, which seems like the kind of thing you'd want if you're an adventure bike rider. I probably am not really the target audience for this bike. I ride a naked bike, I commute to work. I've ridden down to Devon. You know, I've done a couple of long, well, I'd consider them long rides. I've been in the saddle for 3 or 4 hours in a day, and this feels like the perfect bike for that kind of thing. I feel very confident at slow speed on this bike. If you're looking for a big adventure bike that's easy to handle, not intimidating, unless you're 5 foot tall, I think you could do a lot worse than this bike. I might just go for a little poodle around the car park, just to show how. I think slow speed off-road stuff would be a doddle on this bike. It's very composed. Well, that was a little poodle on the DL1050. Leave your comments below, let me know what you think. If you think it's terrible, tell me. I'll try and do better next time. Side stand's nice and easy to get to, that's good. And it comes with a centre stand as well. Anything else worth mentioning? It's a nice comfortable bike to ride. come down to On The Wheel, give it a go yourself, see what you think. I've been Grant, this has been a first ride on the DL 1050. Thanks very much.